Hey, what's up? Welcome back. Happy 2026. Thanks for joining me. It's been a while, 3 months since last been live. So I've just gathered a few things to look at since then. Yeah, we've got Erika Kirk back in the limelight. But yeah, one of the first things that really happened since I was online was the government shutdown. October 1st to November 12th, this was 43 days. The longest government shutdown. And, you know, the last time this happened was right before coronavirus, the scamdemic. It was about, I think it ended in 2019. So I was almost thinking they do these shutdowns right before some major world news, and I was kind of scared that they were going to try something again where they do this long-winded shutdown. Oh yeah, there it is. Trump, that was right then, right before the scamdemic. And so it almost seemed like this is a plan. What happened was like the 3AI Atlas was in the news during that time, and they obviously sent these like fake rovers to fake Mars and captured fake alleged photographs. But of course, because the shutdown, NASA couldn't even release said photographs, so that was a whole thing. A lot of people thought, you know, it was part of the blue beam that possibly was going to collide with, you know, 3i Atlas, and yeah, none of that happened. So that's just another simulation that they ran to really gather people's opinions on it, but not really act on it furthermore. Hi, nice to meet you in the chat. So after this was not that much happened, but Erika Kirk did go back in the news for this viral hug. And I thought it was very strange how hug goes viral equals exactly what she said to him in that moment. And I'll show you the clip where she even says it herself. But yeah, you see where her hand is, you know, this body language right here. She's grabbing him by the head, and in this moment she's telling him God bless you, and she confirms it in the interview. So if you put in God bless you in the calculator, lo and behold, you get the Jesuit order number, which by the way, she had attended a Jesuit university growing up. And hug goes viral, right? So this is almost all on purpose, manufactured, just part of the long train of events with this political figure. I'll show you in a minute some of the old decos that we have of her, so you can kind of get a grasp on remembering the numerology that she has. So let me bring that up really quick. Okay, so this is from my last stream. So we've, you know, found out that her name equals Saturn, and there's no there's nothing here that we don't know about, but the cross obviously symbolizes Saturn, and cross itself matches a few things. But what really stood out was the CEO and chair Erika Kirk matching Christianity and Masonic ritual, and of course that I got that straight from the live stream. Government psyops, scripted news, the whole lot with her. I mean, this was an insane propaganda. Her name matching propaganda, and then these like North Korean levels of propaganda is just really funny. We found out, you know, some of the rings that she's been wearing. I mean, the M137, the 33rd prime number, Kirk Trump 137, celebrity death, mind control Washington DC, Erika propaganda. And here's the, yeah, so she was Miss Arizona, and Miss Arizona equals Jesuit order, but she's also Jesuit educated. And both of them, and turning point, of course, equals the Jesuit order, so the whole thing is a very contrived religious order. The memorial was held in Glendale, Arizona, another Jesuit order number. So 144 and 177 are the major standouts with her, right? As we continue to see what is in the cards for her. Because she's not going away anytime soon.
No one will ever replace my husband. No. But I do see some similarities of my husband in JD and Vice President JD Vance. I do. No one will ever replace my husband. No. But I do see some similarities of my husband in JD and Vice President JD Vance. I do.
Right, so right after she got done saying, I do see similarities.
You asked a personal question about our interfaith household.
Okay, wait, let me explain that if you didn't catch on. So basically she got done getting off the stage and basically saying, nobody will ever replace my husband. But JD Vance, what does she say? So JD Vance is very close or something, right? And then she walks off and immediately they share this intimate hug. The optics are not good.
No one will ever replace my husband. No. But I do see some similarities of my husband in JD.
That 33 and free. Freedom. Did it not equal 33? And okay, so after she does this, JD Vance takes the stage and then he talks about how his wife is not a Christian, and obviously Erika is. So a lot of people were speculating that there's some sort of potential affair in the cards for them.
And Vice President JD Vance. I do.
You asked a personal question about our interfaith household. And yes, my wife did not grow up Christian. I think it's fair to say that she grew up in a Hindu family, but not a particularly religious family in either direction. In fact, when I met my wife, we were both, I would consider myself an agnostic or an atheist, and that's what I think she would have considered herself as well. You asked a personal question about our interfaith household. And yes, my wife did not grow up Christian. I think it's fair to say that she grew up in a Hindu family, but not a particularly religious family in either direction. In fact, when I met my wife, we were both, I would consider myself an agnostic or an atheist, and that's what I think she would have considered herself. Do I hope eventually that she is somehow moved by the same thing that I was moved in by church? Yeah, I honestly
do. I hope that she becomes a blonde Christian woman. Yeah, of course. I would love that. I mean, he is running for president. So yeah, a lot of people are saying, like, so if he does win presidency in 2028, let's say, that then the first lady will be, is her name Usha Vance? Hindu practicing, potentially. So yeah, who knows how that sits with the Republican base. So this like stereotypical blonde Christian woman is just, look, the optics for the Republican nominee just look a lot better. So that's what a lot of people are thinking.
You asked a personal question about our interfaith household. And yes, my wife did not grow up Christian herself as well.
He looks so annoyed.
And that's
to the weirdest places, Erika.
Okay, so
the weirdest to the weird.
and that's
so
what
this
I
is
think
the interview where she confirms, what she said to him while she hugged
she
him.
considered herself.
Forgive me.
So again, just keep in mind that hug goes viral is the main talking point here, and that she says God bless you while it's happening.
Did you see people didn't understand the hug that you and JD had? They went to the weirdest places, Erika.
Oh my gosh. You guys, please. So for those of you who know me, I hug is
Yes,
like,
you're an intense hugger. It's
whoever
awesome.
is like hating on a hug needs a hug themselves. I will give you a free hug anytime you want a hug. My love language is touch, if you will. But seriously, that hug. So I will give you a play-by-play. Walking, they just played the emotional video. I'm walking over, he's walking over, I'm starting to cry. He says, he's so proud of you. And I say, God bless you. And I touch the back of his head. Anyone who I've hugged that I have touched the back of your head when I hug you, I always say, God bless you. That's just me. If you want to take that out of context, go right ahead. Again, that to me shows that you need a hug more than anyone else. So if anyone...
They were acting like you touched the back of his ass.
Whoa.
I feel like I wouldn't get as much hate if I did that versus...
Did she just
But
drop
no,
the A
seriously,
word?
so now when I go and hug people, I'll bring them back in and be like, I obviously didn't give you the right hug. Like, come, let me touch the
Where-
back
where
of
do
your
the hands
head.
go?
I don't know what to do with my
Can't touch the
hands.
head. What can I touch?
I know. I'll just...
So yeah, God bless you. He said something back to her too that was also coded. It equaled 222, like one world order. And then this moment went viral too, so she looks crazy.
Now, stop. That's it.
That's
all I have to
about
say.
the conspiracy theories.
Stop.
I'll show you
Now,
the full clip in
stop.
a second.
That's it. That's all I have to say.
Everyone's saying that. She
Stop.
just looks freaking psycho.
Now, stop. That's it. That's all I have to say. Stop.
Okay, so the full clip is here. And stop, that's it. Vance, President 2028. So she has announced that she is endorsing JD Vance for president.
The podcaster Candace Owens, okay? At one time, a friend of Charlie's, at one time, an employee of Turning Point. She has been one of the main peddlers of these conspiracies, and she is making a huge amount of money on it. She is building her business off of these lies. What do you want to say to her and the other people that are putting these lies out into the world right now?
Stop. That's it. That's all I have to say. Stop.
It's funny too that this is a program called A Town Hall With. I don't know if it, yeah, so right here it says it. So I thought that was so specific. Let me see if you can see a bit more of it. Okay, you can't. But behind the CBS News, it says A Town Hall With. And if you put that in the calculator, and by the way, Vance president equaling 155, the same number as coronavirus and Masonic ritual, and just like the biggest number possible is not the greatest sign. But a town hall with is 166, like secret society, like is it White House? It's either the White House, and it I'm trying to think. There's a few more. So 166 is obviously one of their numbers, and they've coded the show that they're hosting this with that number.
She
And that's
has
how you
been
know
one
this
of the
is,
main
contrived. Okay, so this is where she announces the nomination.
We are going to get my husband's friend, J.D. Vance, elected for 48 and the most resounding way possible.
Now, of course, this is if even Trump gives up the office, which he's still not, back down from a third term, which is unconstitutional as it is currently.
We are going to get my husband's
So yeah,
friend,
a lot of people are predicting that this year there's a potential affair, that she somehow makes her way into his good graces and whatnot, and I don't know, he splits with his current wife, although he has kids and everything, so it is kind of a stretch. But either way, they're really using her as, the political spokesperson of Turning Point and her Jesuit-coded everything to try to help him get elected. Okay, so a lot of people have been seeing this, and for the first time, I was like, when I first saw it, I was like, what is Nicki Minaj doing with Erika Kirk? Nicki even had to delete her Instagram because of this scandal, that people were not okay with her appearing and supporting Trump and saying all these nice things about them. And I was like, that's so random. Like, why Nicki? Like, out of all people, it just made no sense to me until you go on the calculator and then you type both of their names, and lo and behold, like, what is the statistical probability that both of their names equal the same thing in English ordinal? And if you're new and you don't know what ordinal is, it is A through Z numbered, right? It's the simplest cryptographic cipher that the military use. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, all the way to Z, numbered in an ordinal fashion, so that A equals 1, B equals 2, C equals 3. It's very straight to the point, and so the fact that both of their names, Erika Kirk, 93, if you add up the individual numbers of her name, you get 93. If you type it with Nicki Minaj, you get 93. So obviously they made the phone call to Nicki and was like, hey, we need a celebrity that matches this gematria because this is, important for our energy harvest rituals. And would you mind, appearing on this show with Erika Kirk? And, whether Nicki's actually into it, whether she's actually a Republican or whether they've blackmailed her, we don't know the full story. But at the end of the day, this is more than likely why she's on the stage. And of course, that number 93, propaganda. But again, it's all ties back to the occult and, the symbolism that they're wearing, Saturn worship. So, I mean,
this knew under the sun that
this to me is like absolute proof that something's wrong and that the media and is fabricating things and that propaganda actually exists, because there's just no way that this happened organically just because, if that makes sense. So hopefully it clocks for you too, and it, if it's your first time kind of seeing something like this, you're like, stop to think for a moment, because this is going on at such a large scale all the time, every day. But it is rare that they put two celebrities with the same gematria at the same show.
I have not heard, so you're fine. Yes, we did. I love you. I love you. You have to laugh about it, truly. I have been called every single thing, and you know what? God is so good, you let it roll right off your back. And this is what's so beautiful about this moment, because if the internet wants to clip it, who cares? I love this woman. She's an amazing woman. She has a soul and a heart for the Lord, and words are words, but I know her heart, and it doesn't even matter. And you say what you want to say because I know your heart. I will not judge that.
Sister. Thank you. For boys, be boys.
Amen.
Be boys. It's okay. Be boys. It's nothing wrong with being a boy.
Amen.
How about that?
Amen.
How powerful is that? How profound is that?
Amen.
Boys will be boys, and there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, that's what I want to say.
What's something
Honestly,
the
this is
media
so
and the world in
bonkers.
general misunderstands about you?
Oh, I think people think maybe that I'm mean, or, maybe when you have a strong presence as a woman, it's easy to just box you into one box, like one category of mean or, other words.
They want to put you in a box to be able to label you.
Okay, case in point with that 166 number earlier that I was like, oh, the town hall width, that equals, 166, secret society and the White House. So live Phoenix AZ also equals 166. Just put it in the calculator too. So yeah, anytime they have anything on, obviously this is taken from Rumble, so that's not, but the official logo on whatever they're streaming, you can always decode it. And even something as simple as what they put at the top corner is often for a reason as well. So just have a look here. Live Phoenix. Oh, so Live Phoenix is already 139, the 33rd. Oh, no, sorry, no. Freemasonry equals 139. And then AZ, see, you got that 166 again, Secret Society or the White House. Pretty sure is it One World Order as well? So that is how they work. They love to put their branding, because this is how Energy Harvest works, is it's like they live, when he puts on the sunglasses, the fact that nobody can see it, they're harvesting people's energy that way. But as soon as you can see it, you stop the harvest. I'm pretty sure harvest equals 93. Oh my god, exactly. So this is all harvest. Energy Harvest 93, like Erika Kirk. She is a massive harvest, Energy Harvest personality. Kirk. So, yeah.
I think people think of.
Okay, so the next major news outlet, news cycle, was the Venezuela, capture of their president, and under the guise of, obviously, that drug trafficking and conspiracy to, I think there was holding weapons against the United States and all this stuff, and yeah, the main numerology here is obviously that Venezuela equals 666, but also the prison that they took him. They captured him in Venezuela and they took him to New York. That's a joke in itself, right? Right, again, this matching of preposterous numerology that just otherwise would not make any sense, probability wise, that these match for the storyline. But here they are, straight from the boat from Venezuela, into New York they go. And now we are, America is quote unquote running Venezuela whilst this coup is going on. Yeah, so Maduro lands in New York. If you find any more 666s on this, do shout. I bet there's a lot of like drug related numbers that you could probably find.
Till such time as we can do a safe, proper, and judicious transition. So we don't want to be involved with having somebody else get in, and we have the same situation that we had for the last long period of years. So we are going to run the country until such time as we can do a safe, proper, and judicious transition. And it has to be judicious because that's what we're all about. We want peace, liberty, and justice for the great people of Venezuela, and that includes many from Venezuela that are now living in the United States and want to go back to their country. It's their homeland. We can't take a chance that somebody else takes over Venezuela that doesn't have the good.
So this brings us to one of the major news cycles happening right now. Let me pump some Matrix on really quick. Because this is another, like, obvious psyop, fake, event. Now, whether there was a real murder or not, that's to be debated. We never know with these things. Like, nobody ever knows if Epstein's really dead. Nobody really knows if Charlie Kirk actually died or not. What we do know is that they're all crisis actors to a certain extent. They all sign up for it. That's, what we all can probably agree on. So one thing that Kamatrinator found that was like so clutch, such an easy, simple decode, but those are the best because it's really revealing. So the shooting happened on January 7th, right? Which is written at, well, it depends where you are, but in the States, it's January 7th, so 1-7. And so if you type in ICE into the calculator, you get 1-7. So what are the chances or probability that this ICE shooting, that's like major global news story, happens to fall in the gematria of ICE? It's just absolutely absurd. And if you want to type it on our calculator, just go ahead. It's ICE. So January 7, get this major news story sponsored by ICE. And she was 37 years old. ICE agent equals 37 in reduction. But the major thing that I found was that her name equals murdered and her name equals Trump, which obviously Trump had a lot to say. He even released another video on this. But that number's been blowing up, for the last few years. I mean, take case in point. What else equals 88? Oh, yeah, that's right. Epstein equals 88, just like Trump. Oh, and what is, Trump doing right now? He's in the middle of renovating a ballroom, or, putting a ballroom in the White House. Ballroom, 88. Trump, 88. Epstein, 88. Oh, Renee, good. 88. I mean, what are the chances? That's insane. That's just absolutely the probability of a major world news story going viral and it equaling that same number of the Trump administration and murdered. Right. It's just so contrived. But let's take a look at the footage Now, I think I'm missing at least 2 angles, but one of them, you could barely see anything. It was very grainy and very far away, so I didn't add that. And then somebody else told me that there's more body cam footage that's actually quite gory, but I don't have that either. I don't know where it is. I can't find it. I don't think it's on YouTube.
Of the shooting about to unfold appears to support.
This is kind of like the mainstream clip, and yeah, just you think for yourself how easy it would be to fake this, for one, and if it's real bullets, whatever. But also just how silly it is, because a lot of people were saying like, oh, she like deliberately drove into him, and when I heard this, I thought like she was like speeding from 0 to 100 and like directed her car right out of. When you watch this, it's like, no, the dude like got in front of her car and like she was trying to turn and she clipped him. But that's like such a different story than they're selling in the media.
With
so
this
just have a
dark
look
red SUV
for yourself.
blocking the road, and these
Right?
are ICE agents
So
approaching the
so the ICE agents are approaching her car. Like, why are people acting like she came out of nowhere, driving on 99 miles per hour and like ran into him? Like, no, the ICE agents went to her car. And just have a look what
driver's
happens.
side of the shooting about to unfold appears to support this, with this dark red SUV blocking the road, and these are ICE agents approaching the driver's side of the shooting about to unfold appears to support this, with this dark red SUV blocking the road, and these are ICE agents approaching the driver's side of the shooting about to unfold appears to support this, with this dark red SUV.
I also love when they say stuff in the news that I'm like, just put it in the calculator. He just said dark red SUV. Dark red SUV. 1, 2, 3, like conspiracy. And this is a conspiracy. So all the props that they use, the colors of everything, things in the background, everything is like a scene in a Hollywood movie to them. They like put it there on purpose.
Blocking the road, and these are ICE agents approaching the driver's side of the
also, everybody's laughing out loud. Sorry, this is not a laughing moment, but it is funny that there's ice everywhere on the ground. That's like their like whole mockery element is trying to, be obvious, and like the fact that people aren't catching on. They're laughing at us. So you kind of have to laugh back.
With this dark red SUV blocking the road. Away.
Like, oh my god, there's like this major news story where there's like this ice shooting and there's ice everywhere. Oh my god.
To get out of the car. You can see here the reverse lights go on. Just a split second before, this ICE agent puts his hand on the door handle. He's going to try to open that door.
Okay, already that's like they've instigated, like that man just put his hand into her car like while she's driving, so that's already like, he started it kind of, but that's not the guy that gets hurt. And by hurt, I mean the guy like had a bit of internal bleeding from this, allegedly, and then went to get 33 stitches, allegedly. Yes, 33 stitches. As reported by the news.
To get out of the car. You can see here the reverse lights go on. Just a split second before, this ICE agent puts his hand on the door handle. He's going to try to open that door, but it's locked. Way to get out of the car. You can see here the reverse lights go on. Just a split second before, this ICE agent puts his hand on the door handle.
Oh my god! I was like, door handles sound so sus. Wow. Like, so I typed it in. Guess what door handle equals? Just guess. Also, by the way, woman killed by ICE equals stage shooting. So there you go. But just guess what door handle. Just have a wild guess. What do you think door handle equals? It's actually not 33, but it's something related to. All right, Freemason. Okay, it matches Freemason. So bro reaches for the door handle. It's almost like he was scripted to say like, hey, you're gonna reach into her door handle. Okay, make sure it's her door handle because we need that 96 in our Gematria energy harvest. So make sure you go reach for that door handle, you Freemason ice agent. So yeah, every little thing can be nitpicked because again, the statistical probability that these are the major numbers that show up is just
but it's long.
impossible.
Way to get out of the car. If we pause the video again right here, a whole series of things are about to happen in rapid succession, and I'll break them down one by one. First, you'll notice the reverse lights are off. The car's back in drive, and for the briefest of moments, at a complete stop. Second, the agent who just tried to open the driver's side door has now reached inside the vehicle itself. But third, and most importantly, we now see a third ICE officer emerge. This is the one we saw earlier, filming the vehicle circling around it. He's in front of the vehicle now, and he's drawing his... If we pause the video again right here, a whole series of things are about to happen in rapid succession, and
okay,
I'll break
another
them down
thing
one
that
by one.
I wanted to
First,
point out is that this car is called a Pilot, or it's a Honda Pilot, right? I just typed Pilot brand into the calculator, and so any number that's 111 is gonna get you in Sumerian a 666, which is, you know, just the cipher multiplied by 6. Instead of A equaling 1, it equals 6, B 12, you know. So it's another major number. So anytime they want to sneak in a little 666, they will through this method. So Pilot brand car, that's just a little Easter egg.
The driver immediately loses control of the vehicle. Seconds later, it crashes hard into a parked vehicle on the side of the road. And we learn later, the driver's dead.
Oh my God! What the
It's as the vehicle starts to accelerate forward, turning to the right, away from the officer with the gun, he fires 3 distinct shots.
Not 33 shots. I'm just kidding. That's terrible. But yeah, it just happened right there. So as you can see, the guy went up to her car, right in front of her car, and then was like, "Oh my God, you nearly ran me over." It's like, bro, like, did you need to like go into the front of her car as she's driving? It, like, the news made it seem like she just came out of all the way over here and like went, and that was her priority. But no, she was just trying to back up, and the dude got in front of her and was like, "Oh, you know what I mean?" Like, it's just no excuse. It's actually ridiculous. And were those live rounds? I don't know. From this angle, it's so easy to fake it as a fake gun, you know, Hollywood production gun. And then all you would need to do,
crashes.
I mean, there's magicians that can pull stuff like this off really quickly, where like somebody's in the car in the back seat can help like put fake blood. Whatever they need to do, that's possible. Now, I'm not saying that she's dead or not. She's not dead. I have no idea. I'm just, you know, playing the advocate here that it is possible. I was completely contrived to the point that it's not even real shooting.
Hard into a parked
But who
vehicle
knows?
on the side of the road by the President of the United States. That the driver of the...
And again, of course, Trump has something to say. Trump 88, Renee Good 88, murdered 88. She was a professional agitator. Even Trump says she was a professional agitator. He's telling us right here, she's a professional agitator. She was obviously a professional. Yeah, she was a professional crisis actor.
The SUV violently, willfully, and viciously ran over the ICE officer. It is incorrect to say the ICE officer was run over, because he wasn't. He's on his feet in front of the vehicle as the driver hits the gas. He appears to almost jump out of the way, and by the time he's firing his second and third shots, he's clear of the vehicle's path.
It's like, dude, you should not have gotten in the way. It's absolutely insane.
He's still standing, even as the driver loses control. And within seconds, he's walking.
Honestly, terrifying. It's honestly terrifying that there's a federal government agency equipped with guns and the right to shoot that can literally get in the front of your car, and if you do the wrong move with your car, they will shoot you. Like, they have the authority to shoot you and just say that you were trying to run them over. It's like, that sets a really terrible precedent.
Towards the car after it's crashed. What we can't be sure of at this point is whether he was actually clipped by the car. Trump's account is that the officer took time to recover in hospital, and he offered this video as proof that the officer was indeed hit. From this angle, it does seem possible that he was, but it's not conclusive. The video is so grainy, and honestly, it's hard to tell whether the compression of the zoom is just making it look like he was hit, or whether he was actually hit. Going back to this angle, it's still not totally clear to me whether he was or wasn't. It's hard to tell if he's pushed back by the car or he's simply jumping back out of the way. In any case, the real legal question at hand isn't actually so much about whether the officer was run over. It's whether he was justified. Driver was a violent rioter who weaponized her vehicle in an attempt to kill, and that the ICE officer, fearing for his life, fired defensive shots. Within hours of the incident, Donald Trump would agree with that version. SUV self-defense. Driver for his life, fired defensive shots.
That's you could probably like really look into some of these words that they're using. Like even like defensive shots feels a bit weird. I mean, I could probably sit here all day and try to find the code words that they're using. Fearing for his life. Another one. But blocking eye. But yeah, if you guys find any other clips or anything, do let me know. These are the only ones I found. This is the newest one, is the alleged body cam. It's more so like the phone that he was holding. I don't know if the phone was attached to his vest or he was holding the phone.
Shocking new video has been released from the cell phone of the ICE agent who shot Renee Nicole Good in Minneapolis. Jonathan Ross's footage, which was obtained by Alpha News, offers a whole new perspective on the deadly encounter, revealing Renee's wife Rebecca antagonizing ICE agents just moments before Renee peeled off, clipping the agent, prompting him to open fire.
Go ahead. Out of the car. Get out of the car. Get out of the car. Whoa.
Shocking new video has been released from the cell phone of the ICE
so it's
agent
really
who
not
shot
as
Renee
bad
Nicole
as
Good.
they try to make it seem in terms of like the way she was driving her car, if that makes sense. She was literally just trying to get out. She was not like this bloke.
As it passed, an officer approached her door and ordered her out. She reversed briefly, then began to drive while turning to her right, prompting the
That's
agent,
insane.
since identified
It's
as
honestly
Ross,
insane.
to jump out
The
of
more
way
I watch
and
it,
fire
it's
3 shots
insane.
into the windshield, and
I
then the
keep
window
saying
as
this, but it just reminds me of those soccer players that like like purposefully hurt themselves just so that they get the ref's attention and to get a red card. Like, that's exactly the energy this is giving. It's like, bro put himself in the line of fire, and when he gets just a tiny bit like of injury, is like, well, that's justified to murk her.
while turning to her right, prompting the agent, since identified as Ross, to jump out of the way and fire 3 shots. Secretary Kristi Noem said the officer, a 10-year veteran of the agency, had acted in self-defense and was justified in opening fire, and that Good was part of a mob of agitators attempting to thwart ICE's efforts in enforcing.
It's also, another part of the mockery that her last name is Good, so they're obviously trying to divide
forcing President Trump's immigration crackdown. Vice President
the
Vance
nation
firmly
over,
echoed that message in a press
good,
briefing
bad.
on Thursday, January 8th.
The reason this woman is dead is because she tried to ram somebody with her car, and that guy acted in self-defense.
The reason this woman is dead is because that guy got in front of her car and she was just trying to leave. You know, it's just insane, the rhetoric.
That is why she lost her life, and that is the tragedy.
And Secretary Kristi Noem said the office...
Okay, so the newest spectacle in the circus is Greenland. I find it ironic that Greenland 2 literally just came out. It's probably still in the cinemas. Yeah, it came out 9th of January, literally a week before, Trump really announced his plans to purchase, quote unquote, or down the line, potentially use force to acquire Greenland. But this is a really interesting topic. So it really sets up the whole year because, there's so much to think about here. For one, Greenland, if you're a flat earther, potentially the center of the world, potentially has, openings to more land, who knows? Potentially is a place related to whatever was going on in World War II and why, Hitler was interested in the land then. And there's a lot of comparisons with Trump and Hitler flying around. And so right now, Trump threatens allies over Greenland. So this is a tariff threat. Countries to face 10% tariffs, but of course that is coded. I'll show you in a second. But these include United Kingdom, France, Germany, Netherlands, Denmark, Norway. I mean, just the major powers, no big deal.
Makers traveling to Denmark.
So the main thing is that 10% tariffs that he's applying right now literally equals Greenland. So
the American ally. Here's ABC's senior White House correspondent, Selena Wang.
Tonight, President Trump issuing a new threat to our European allies who oppose a U.S. takeover of Greenland. Trump posting on Truth Social that 8 of our NATO allies, including Denmark, France, Germany, and the United Kingdom, will face 10% tariffs starting on February 1st. Adding that those tariffs will jump to 25% in June until a deal is reached for the complete and total purchase of Greenland. For weeks, Trump has been escalating his threats, saying the U.S. will have Greenland one way or another.
Okay, so if you didn't catch it, so right now there's going to be, starting February 1st, is going to be the 10% tariff on those 8 major NATO countries. And then
allies including Denmark, France, Germany, and the United.
Okay, so then it will crank up to 25% tariffs in summer. So obviously that is an escalation, and a lot of the, European allies are now sending what appeared to be like groups of troops over to Greenland. So it's seeming like there is a lot gonna happen. I mean, a lot of people were wondering if World War III is gonna break out over Gaza and over in Arab countries, or now it's almost looking like they're trying to set it up so that US goes to war with its own allies. And it's so strange and so weird because literally Trump was just in England like a few months ago. And I had a whole presentation on that too. But yeah, they were all just like in Windsor Castle, like having a blast. And then literally this just happened. So yeah, are they all in it together? Yes. Is this a New World Order scheme? Yes. Is Keir Starmer from England and all the other world leaders actually freaking out about this? No, because they probably have been briefed and told about this, and they're all acting and going off with the script. And, in every season of every reality show, there's always a villain. They always choose a villain. Right now, it's obviously America, and it has been for a few years. So yeah, America's playing this card of a villain. And who knows what they're going to accomplish with these roles that they've set up. But on the surface, to like a normal outsider, this does feel like something to freak out over, because it's exactly the same kind of rhetoric that Russia was using to take over Ukraine. And mind you, Greenland has been inherited by the Danish people, Denmark, since the 1700s, so at least 200 something years. So it's very well established as part of Denmark. You know, that's not something to take lightly. So it's A, not for sale. It's B, that, you know, NATO is trying to protect Denmark. So NATO will do everything they can to protect Greenland. So a lot of people are wondering, well, what's left? Like, is Trump gonna stage an invasion of Greenland? And that would be horrific for so many reasons. But yeah, I don't know. That seems kind of far out, especially with how, you know, how we condemn what Russia's been doing with Ukraine, and, you know, that viral meme of Trump sitting down with Zelensky and going, "You're gambling with World War III." Well, meanwhile, like, he's being a hypocrite. I mean, it's very, very strange news. But yeah, I have been informed that there's a Space Force headquarters in Greenland, like a U.S. Space Force. So I know there's also, you know, a lot of the, you know, Trump's reasoning behind this, allegedly, although he's obviously not pulling the strings, but he's a spokesperson, is saying that this is necessary so that China and Russia don't try to get Greenland first, or because he's trying to build a golden dome, kind of like what I believe Israel has. So some sort of like golden dome that he needs Greenland in order for all of it to work. Who knows, whatever. It is very strange. Another theory was thrown out that Trump is doing this in order to get NATO to retaliate and then leave NATO, like have this be the reason that he leaves. But anyway, even if he leaves NATO, they're all working together. So it's just really confusing times right now. I really can't predict where this is gonna go. Can you guys? What do you think? Drop a comment if you think you know where this is going. I'd love to know your thoughts. But yeah, that's basically all for tonight. Just wanted a quick recap of some things that we've missed. And yes, not been too much compared to, you know, some of the things in the past. But yeah, I think the main part is figuring out what's going to happen with Greenland. Anyway, have a wonderful night. Oh, thanks so much for joining us. 007 in the chat. Have a wonderful night, y'all, and I'll be back.